So, tapos na ba tayo mag-attendance? So, good morning everyone. Before I proceed with the discussion of the 30 contracts, allow me to recognize the following who are in attendance. Yours truly, Susan Party, Bob Vice Chairman, Delina Casayo, Bob Provisional Member, Angel A. Burgos Jr., Bob Provisional Member. We have Engineer Raya Hidalgo, Bob Secretariat Head, Ms. Laureline Balahaja, Bob Secretariat Member, Angeline Ayala, Bob Secretariat Member, Moises Amido, representing QA Engineering Services. We have Charlie Panes, representing Bicon Builders Corporation. We also have Maria Gemma Ortega, Bob Secretariat Member, Pauline Grace Ilong from Planning and Design Section. We also have Russell B. Monio from Planning and Design Section. We have Wilfredo A. Sarmiento from Bulldog Engineering. We have Justice Marie A. Solis from Planning and Design Section. We also have Janine Masakal or Janae Masakal representing National Builder. We have Rafael Pilotos from Planning and Design Section. And of course, the least but last but not the least, we have Engineer Colleen B. Mambucal from Planning and Design Section. This time we have 30 contracts subject for preview conference. And we have contract ID 24MG 0024 up to contract ID number 24MG 0063. I would like also to acknowledge Ma'am Jenny Luzano, our top regulars and visitors. So thank you so much for coming to this activity. This is the preview conference. To request the representatives from Planning and Design Section to do the discussion of the details of each contract. So we shall be starting now, I think. Yeah.
Good morning to everyone. Bali for us is meron sa po sa building. So, pag-asahin namin is reverse po sa South Forest. Meron po, unahin po muna yung first story building kasi meron 18 pa story. hindi na siya tapos ang iyang scope is unit na story doing. So we have, meron tayo ng, marami po ba kayo dito na wala naman na. So, basahin ko po lahat ng story po ng Forest Building kasi meron scope of works, meron lang po mga intended na mga kanya-kanya po ng mga initiative that allocation ng department po. So, dito po tayo sa contract ID 24MG0035. Yun po isa. Next, contract ID 24MG0036. Contract ID 24MG0038. Contract ID 24MG0039. Contract ID 24MG0041. Contract ID 24MG0042. Contract ID 24MG0044. Contract ID 24MG0045. Contract ID 24MG0046. Contract ID 24MG0047, Contract ID 24MG0048, Contract ID 24MG0049, Contract ID 24MG0052, Contract ID 24MG0053, Contract ID 24MG0054, Contract ID 24MG0055, Contract ID 24MG0056, Contract ID 24MG0059. Yan po ay lahat construction po of two-story barangay hall. Then, ang scope mo niyan, dito lang tayo mag-iba-iba kasi meron po tayo ng tuwid na 9x7. Pero later po na kung anong contract ID. So, dito tayo sa scope of work ng barangay hall. Usually po, ang pinaka-complex, meron tayong structural concrete class A, o include po yung doon ang footings, tayo columns, beams, squares, second floor slab, roof beams, repair beams, and septic wall slab. Next, number 2 is for class B naman po tayo, doon po siya sa flooring. Sliding thickness po tayo na 0.075 with reinforced na RSP 10 mm diameter. Then sa elevation po later, i-discuss ko po per contract ID kasi iba-iba tayo ng elevation. Then, same na yun, meron tayong concrete masonry works, hard works, of course, ang ceiling po natin is 3.5 mm thick fiber cement board attached to metal faring. Then, since yung sa design namin ngayon, historical time installation of powered by fire. That is roof and rock framing, usual natin na ginagamit for end flashing, pre-painted din po. 24 and 54 yan. yung sales. The complete electrical works, then meron tayong installation of 10 towers fire extinguisher. Then, additional po is, include po dito yung permits and fees po natin, yung mga clearances. Tapos, in-include po namin yung structural analysis each po. Kasi kinakonsider namin yun ang typical na scope ng two-story. Contact ID, and Barangay Carpenter din po, ang dimension po niya, .3 from EGF. Para ano po yung mataas kasi by 7, ang Mambucal. 9 by 7, meron tayong removal of structures in obstruction, 0.4 ang elevation, then wooden doors lang tayo dito sa Mambucal. Is Billy, contract ID 24MG0042. 9 by 7 ang dimension, 0.3 ang elevation niya. Next is 24MG0044. Barangay Abansen niya. 9 by 7 ang dimension, 0.4 ang elevation ng bangunan. Next is Roque Paraiso, 24MG0045, 9 by 7 ang dimension niya, then 0.4 ang elevation. 9 by 7. Next is ang gas niyan, MG0046, 9 by 7 ang elevation, 0.4 ang elevation. 9 by 7 ang dimension, elevation of the impact is 0.4. Next is Rotonda. Rotonda, MG0047, 9 by 7 ang dimension. Elevation of embankment is 0.4 from mature ground line. Next, Yulang Bunaw, 9 by 7, Yulang Bunaw, 24MG0048, 9 by 7 ang dimension. Elevation to embankment is 0.4 from natural ground line. 24 MG 0049, Barangay Mangilala. Dimension is 9 by 7. Elevation of embankment is 0.3 from natural ground line. Ano? Next is 24 MG 0052, Barangay Liwanay. 9 by 7 ang dimension, 0.4 ang elevation of embankment. Next is Barangay Lambini. 9 by 7 ang elevation, 0.3 ang embankment, ang elevation. Next is 24 MG 0054, Lamapos. 9 by 7 ang elevation. Next, Barangay Kabuling. 24 MG 0055. Algali. And 24 MG 0056, wala yung 55, which is pala ang Kabuling. So, ang 24 MG 056 is Barangay Exal, Poblacion. Exal, Poblacion. Ang 24 MG 0056 po, Jim po. Next is ang M24 MG 0059 is Jim na siya. Okay, yun lang po ang story. The next po is 24 MG 0034, construction of multi-purpose building. Ay pahabol po doon sa two-story building. Ang calendar days po is 150 calendar days po. Then ang ABC is 4,950. 4,950. Next is ang 24 MG 0034, construction of multi-purpose building, Surallah, sa Cotabato. Scope of work is construction of 5-span managing with stage. ABC is 4.95. Contract duration is 1 calendar days. Scope of work of multi-purpose building and removal of structures in obstruction, demolition of existing stage. Next, construction of 12 units concrete pedestal. Concrete plus linya is pedestal, wall footings, concrete floor slab. Meron po tayong reinforced na ISP at 0.5 on centerboard waist na reinforcement. With finished floor line, 0.2 from existing floor slab. With building works po sa lahat ng concrete pedestal. Included din. Meron po tayong installation ng 2 sets basketball ring po. Attached po siya sa 3-inch arc. Then, application of rubberized paint on concrete flooring. Installation of 6 units 3-inch arc and 5 spans of roof and roof railing. Same po, repainted long span, 0.4 po ang thickness. And which meron tayong withdrawal and end flashing na pre-painted 0.4 and empty po. Roof tips niya, it shall be 1.2, included na rin po ang electrical works. Sa stage niya naman po, meron tayong dimension na 8 by 3.7. Ang thickness po ng flooring is 0.075. Ang class A, included po doon ang footings, wall footings, columns, concrete floor slab, then may RSB na reinforcement at 0.5 din ang single footings. Which floor line niya from floor line ng gym is 1 meter. Meron siyang masonry works, carpentry works, for ceiling, girth and rafter, 32 by 32 by 4 mm po yung angle bar. May 4 mm by 6 meter angle bar sa girth po niya. And sa roof and roof framing po, ang C4 release mo natin is 1.2 by 1 by 50 mm by 75. Long spanning po, 3 same ang thickness and flashing. Then, complete ng building works and electrical works. Then, mayroon din tayong installation of 2 sets ranger po dyan sa gym. Next. Next, 24 MG0037, Noy.
The 24 MG0037 construction of pipe span 6 meters deep type 5 with wet market stalls. The gym is typical with construction of body-means concrete pedestal, pedestals, footings, wall footings, and septic vault. Class B is HVAC and countertop with 075. So it has pipe span, roof and roof framing. CHB load bearing for the installation of walls for the countertops and is 1.2 and the roofing will be 0.4 wood beam highway block span, 0.4 panel beach rod, and 0.4 panel and flashing. Painting works will be on the concrete pedestal only. Tiling works for the countertops, electrical works, plumbing works with finished floor line of 0.4 from the natural ground.
This is parang mix and Roque.
So for the construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Roque, it is a pipe span, 6 by 18, type 5. So it has only 5 pedestal, 11 pedestals. Since it is type 5, the one pedestal will be has an existing gym, existing stage, I mean. So it is still class A, pedestal footing and wall footing. Class B for the complete flooring with force 10 mm RSP. So for the construction of features, it has one unit 2-step features with a length of 30 meters. So it has construction of structural concrete class A, including pedestals, footing, wall footings, and at the top of the features. Complete with cement plaster finish and painting works. So it has a finished floor line of valid from 0.2 from the gym going to the bleachers up to 0.8.
Next is contract ID 24MG004, that is construction of multi-purpose building barangay Magsaysay, Koronadal City South. Construction of two classrooms for building, 4.15. For the construction of multi-purpose building, barangay Magsaysay, Koronadal City, the scope of work is the construction of one unit, one story, two classroom with toilet at each classroom. The length is 18 linear meter and the width is 9.5. It has a provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, occupational safety and health program including PPEs and syringes and barricades, including all permits and fees required for the building. It has with soil poisoning, and embankment shall be provided within the building, and the finished floor line elevation is 0.5 meter from natural grade line. For the excavation, it includes column footings, wall footings, and septic wall. And for the structural concrete class A, that's 3,000 PSI, including all footings, columns, beams, septic tank slabs, and concrete gutter with parapet wall. For the structural concrete class B, for the slab on field and ramp, it has a 2,500 PSI. For the ramp, provide 1:12 slope and must be accessible for PWD. And it has a waterproofing cement base, including concrete gutter with parapet. For the masonry works, complete with plain cement, plaster finish. And for the roof and roof framing, there's a 0.4 mm thick pre-painted corrugated GI roofing sheet, 0.6 mm thick pre-formed pre-painted GI ridge roll sheet, 0.6 mm thick pre-formed pre-painted GI flashing sheet. And for the roof framing, it should be painted with metal primer. And it has 6 mm diameter J-bolt for roofing, and it has a steel trusses. It includes also the carpentry works, including the blackboard. For doors, it should be a KT and thermite panel swing door with fixed glass transom above on 50 mm by 150 mm concrete jam with lever type doorknob. For hollow core flush type swing door on 50 mm by 150 mm concrete jam with marine plywood facing both sides with lever type doorknob. And for the windows, should be jalousie window with 6 mm thick clear glass plates on concrete jam with steel framing grill in the outer side using 12 mm square bar. Owning window with 6 mm thick clear glass panel on steel frame and with fixed glass transom above. For the ceiling, it should be complete ceiling works, interior and exterior, and for the air vent. Use metal double parting, metal carrying channel, and 3.5 mm thick fiber cement board. For the tiling works, the unglazed tiles is for the CR's floor only. And it has also a painting works, complete painting works, including walls, ceilings, windows, doors, and handrails. And for the railings, surround, plus 50 mm diameter GI pipe handrail. Complete electrical works includes the provision of emergency lights, strobe lights, fire alarm bell, and fire alarm switch. And provide 10 pounds APC type portable fire extinguisher and strobe light. Next is contract ID 24MG0050, that is construction of multi-purpose building barangay.
So with the construction of multi-purpose building, barangay Nukuya po, Tantangan, South Cotabato, its scope of works consists of a 5-span typical gym type 1 with stage. So the gym consists of 12 units, complete pedestal, with pedestal having complete class A, footings, small footings, ramps and steps. For the complete class B, which is the flooring with reinforced 10 mm RSB, fabrication of 6 units 3-inch arc for the 5-span roof and roof framing. The 3-inch arc and roof framing shall be painted with metal primer. Roof eaves shall be one roof beam high-grade block span roofing, 0.4 blue bended panel bridge wall, 0.4 blue bended panel and flashing. The painting of 12 units complete pedestal, complete with electrical works, with its finished floor line elevation of 0.4 from the natural ground line, with ramp and rating and removal of existing structures and obstructions. The structures and obstructions only includes the trees, the black box, and the existing tree. For the construction of the stage, it has an area of 12 by 5.8 with flooring of 0.075. It includes a structural complete class A for footings, wall footings, columns, level beams, and corbels. For the structural complete, the flooring thickness of 0.1 is reinforced with 10 mm RSB. Masonry works with complete plastering and finishing, carpentry works for the ceiling works, including interior and exterior with bare beds, roof and roof framing, 0.4 thick roof mean height long span roofing, 0.4 blue bended panel and flashing with painting works and electrical works.
Next is contract ID for MG0051, construction of multi-purpose building barangay Poblacion, Tantangan, South Cotabato. Construction, as probably is construction of 5-span gym with stage. Then, contract duration is 150 pieces per point. For its scope of work, construction of 5-span, 6 by 8 division type 1, construction of 12 units from the pedestal for glass linear, Chicago class A style 14 for 14, class B po is flooring, then starting 30 by 8 millimeter foam reinforcement at 0.4, then ang flooring thickness is 0.075. Meron tayong isolation of 3-inch arc or 5-span roof and roof framing, 3-inch arc and with metal primer. Of course, 1.2 po ang roof eaves. Ang roof eaves same is for included, may lumang sa roof eaves na limited po, same is with visual and attached mapping. And then, type works for all units from roof style. Meron po tayong putting po doon yung installation of digital scoreboard. Dalawa po ang scoreboard. Then, with finished floorline po ito ng 0.2 from natural ground line. Meron tayong installation ng 2 sets basketball ring attached po sa 3-inch arc. Then, 2 sets din po ng range round with pre-painted relative poly. The first stage, ang dimension is 8 by 3.7, flooring is 0.075. Then, complete class A, of course, footings for footings, columns, and footings for bells. Then, class B is construction of flooring. May merong is 0.075 with division of 1 meter from finished flooring of G. Then, reinforcement niya is 10 mm is at 0.6 meter concentrated footings. Then, masonry works complete with plastering and finishing. Merong carpentry works for ceiling, metal flooring, and 3.5 mm board. with structural steel, subvert and rafter, 1.2 by 50 by 75 C per inch po, then yung heavy din po ang building, located same din po sa plastic. Complete din po with electrical works, and of course, meron po tayo dito permits and fees required for the building. Dito po tayo sa may sa kanina po na-mention po siya sa historic, pero ano siya, slow ko lang po, ang scope niya is construction of by expanding gym with stage 24MG0055, construction of multi-purpose building barangay Caloocan sa Cotabato. Same po tayo sa gym with stage niya, yung specs ng pipe span is same gusto kanina po doon sa mga poblasyon ng Pantangan. Then, ang stage niya, same din po ang dimension at yung mga scope. Meron lang iba dito sa Kapuling, meron tayo removal of structures and obstruction. Yun lang po ang iba sa poblasyon ng Pantangan kanina. Then, yung meron lang po dito na maliit lang po ang scope niya.
So for the information of everyone, I would like to acknowledge the observation of Eileen, as well as the observation of Jenny and the Ali. And this correction will be subject for being called. So after this video conference, Eileen, I would like you to verify so that we can ascertain whether or not na may error dito. If ever there are errors in that, aside from adjuncts, pag sa mga ikapansin natin na may correction during this reading conference, please do the preparation of what. So thank you so much, Emily. So, another discussion. Okay, please continue.
Ano po pala correction po doon sa Kapuling? But ang poblasyon ng Tangan is merong scoreboard, ang Kapuling is wala po. Then, kung si tayo sa contract ID for MG0056, gym po yan, gym with stage. For MG0056 and for MG0059 po, Barangay Malaya, same po ng scope tayo dito. Same lang ng specs din ng pipe span, gym, wala lang po yung scoreboard dito. Meron lang siyang segmentation for clearing and ensuring boundary for uneven surface po. Typical po yung gym natin na stage. Next is for MG0057, construction of multi-purpose building barangay site. Same ba ko rin? Amin po siya.
Ang scope of works po nito, we have pipe span, 30 meters by 18 meters, mini-gym type 1, and stage and with wheelchair. For the mini-gym, we have Class A for all concrete pedestals, footings, and wall footings. For Class B po, for the concrete flooring, we enforce to be Telenet RSP, fabrication and installation of 6 units 3-inch R, the pre-highly box roofing and bridge road, with electrical works, with painting works, and with finished floor line elevation of 0.3 meters from natural ground line. Meron pa tayong removal of existing structures and clearing and grabbing. For the construction of stage, with a size of 12 meters by 5.8 meters, Class A for footings, wall footings, columns, and little beams. Class B for concrete flooring, floors with RSP, with masonry works, complete with cement plaster finish, carpentry works for the ceiling, roof and roof cleaning, that mean highly box roofing and flashing, complete painting works and electrical works. Meron pa tayong sage with bleachers with canopy, 1 unit with a 3 steps. Class A for the pedestals, footings, wall footings, and top of bleachers, complete with cement plaster finish and painting. Process of roof and roof cleaning, and for the roofing which will use the clean highly box. Construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay ang Aybanga, South Cotabato. For the scope of works, construction of pipe span, 30 meters by 18 meters, division type 1, construction of stage, and construction of toilet. For main type 1, 12 units, concrete pedestal, Class A for pedestals, footings, and wall footings, Class B for the concrete flooring, fabrication and installation of 6 units, 3-inch arc. For the roofing, we shall use the clean highly box roofing and ridge road, complete with painting works, electrical works. The finished floor line of the trim shall have 0.3 meters elevation. For the construction of stage, with a size of 12 meters by 5.8 meters, Class A for the footings, wall footings, columns, and little beams. Class B for the concrete flooring with reinforcement. Masonry works, complete with cement plaster finish. Carpet for the ceiling. Roof and roof that mean highly box roofing and flashing. Complete painting works and electrical works. For the construction of toilet, may size for ito na 7.95 meters by 5 meters. Class A for the footings, wall footings, columns, pedestals, little beams, and static wall slabs. Class B for the concrete flooring with reinforcement, masonry works with cement plaster paint finish, carpentry works for the ceiling. We have windows also, PVC door for the toilet, for the roof and roof railings. For the tiling works, unglazed and glazed tiles. We have plumbing works, which includes a septic tank, complete painting works, and with electric.
That's all po sa multi-purpose building namin. Next is proceed po tayo dito sa contract ID for MG0060, that is construction of bridge sa South Cotabato. This po, work is construction of bridge po, the RCDG po yan. ABC is 19.8, then contract duration is 1 days. Construction of new bridge po, including po ang approaches. Ang length is 15 millimeter, ang width is 7.32 meter, 5 meters soil distribution. Then clearing and grabbing for roadway preparation with structure excavation, shoring, feeding, and related works, of course, for double damming. Pavement from barrow, subject preparation, common materials. Then for this kind of bridge, RCDG po, use precast 5 400 by 400. Then For enforcement, first meron tayong grade 40 for 12 mm diameter and smaller, grade 60 for 16 mm diameter and larger. For structural concrete class A, yun po ay para sa ating primary structure and slope or lump protection. Then for concrete class B, for wind concrete. And that's all po sa building na unit po.
For the road projects, with contract ID 24MG0061, with the contract name Construction of Roads Slope Protection Structures, Surallah in City 772 plus 115 to A1772 plus 175 and K1772 plus 321 to K1773 plus 508. We approve by contract of 22,836,700. Over, construction of road slope protection of 345 meter or 3,995 square meter along Surallah Cebu Road. Station limits of the project is K1772 plus 060 to K1772 plus 213 and K1415 to K1772 plus 570. With the construction of reinforced concrete glass retaining wall with a total length of 154 meters. With the construction also of reinforced concrete glass with sheet pile with a total length of 80 meters. Another retaining wall reinforced concrete glass with sheet pile. This is another pipe with a total length of 32 meters. With installation of metal guardrails with total length of 120 meters, with paving of shoulder with 1.5 meter thick and 200 millimeter, 1.5 meter width and 200 thickness, with detour and access road area. For the next project, in contract ID 24MG0062, construction of concrete road, Colombo de la Vista Road in support of banana, coffee, coconut, and papaya industries, Surallah South, with approved budget of 24,000,000, with contract duration of 125 days. For the scope of work, is the concreting of 1 kilometer or 2 lane kilometer road, station road to station 1+00. Net length of PCCP is 1 kilometer. Width of PCCP is 6.7 meters for 2 lanes. Thickness of PCCP thick. Width of shoulder item 200 is 1.5 meters. Thickness of shoulder for item 200 is 180 millimeters. This is including cutting of trees for 20 pieces. Includes removal of structures and obstruction. With construction of reinforced concrete line canal with total length of 337 meters. With construction of slope with total length of 160 meters. With installation of metal guardrail, total length. With paving of shoulder length and installation of pipe culverts 910 millimeter diameter class 2 RCPC for 2 stations with application of reflectorized thermoplastic paint parting and furnishing of 3 siblings to be done over the summer.
X4 Contract ID 24MJ0063, Contract 9, Construction Riverbank Protection along Pangat River, Barangay Simsiman, Surallah, South Cotabato. Scope of work, the construction of steel sheet piles with concrete protection. About approved budget for the contract, 39,021,160 pesos. The contract duration of 135 calendar days. Scope of works is the construction of 360.5 mm buffer steel sheet piles with concrete slope protection. Station limits project station 7+364 +0+724.5 with in and backfill up with 3 meters, bottom with 6.73 meters. Slope protection works of 360.5 millimeters, protection of 12 millimeters. Length of sheet piles being beaded 6 meters. Also have cover damming of 25 meters. The length of sheet piles being beaded at 3 meters.
Yung steel projects and discussion. Bago kami mag-entertain ng mga questions, queries from the 100 from the participating leaders, gusto ko lang i-ask kayo ng Eileen. Kasi you have said a while ago na yung sa mga two-story, you will adopt the soil exploration. Right, Jema? Tama? Okay. For the information of the body, we will adopt the existing result of the subsoil exploration plus E. And as I have heard, meron din structural analysis. May I know from the end of the planning and design section, kung may control ba ito, saan incorporate ang budget for the structural analysis for the record generals.
Bali yung structural analysis po is nilagay namin doon sa mga fees permits and clearances po. Walang ID. Oo, nilagay ko. Ang series po with the bridge natin naman, wala tayong budget po. So nilagay ko din siya doon sa loob ng ID namin. Hearing and grabbing po.
Why I ask this, kasi yung previous na preview, and then nagka-problema kami during the pre-construction. Okay. Most of the leaders claim that they haven't heard any information during the preview conference na yung amount intended for the soil explore and sa ating structural analysis was tailored or was incorporated to the permits and fees. Kaya inang-clear ko ba? Kasi kapalitan kayo mga idea na hindi na-inform sila. And of course, I would like also to ask intended for the permits. Diba, alam naman natin ang building permit is quite minimal compared with the structural analysis. Kasi kayo, aware din kayo, na pag may structural analysis, medyo mahal din siya. Mura lang. Sige, mura lang daw. I stand corrected sa sinabi ni Ma'am Eileen na mura. Kasi, most of the time, parang yun ang ginagawa yung buffer buffer when it comes to sa mga cognitive quotation. Kaya sinasabi ko na baka mamaya na sobrang baba ayun sa quotation, hyperneeds and fees. Tapos ibabalik ko sa office na you haven't informed na incorporated pala doon sa structure or sea, soil, and snow. Kaya as early as now, sinasabi ko, parang walang dahilan na ibalik niyo sa amin na you are not informed. So ngayon, i-inform kayo. Kasi yung last time, wedding son, hindi naka-attend. And of course, yung mga naka-attend na, hindi nila nabigyan ng, hindi nila tinutulan pa, o hindi din nakinig during the meeting conference. And another thing, you should also consider in the preparation of your program of work, yung sa mga simple na nga sabihin natin, sa mga billboards, na separate ang billboard with COA, separate ang billboard with DPWH. And maybe some siguro ng observation will be tackled by Ma'am Jenny. O ano mga observation mo?
Everyone, mine is just a reminder to all of you that the opening excited that comment by the people so this will be open to persons and representatives who choose to attend the conference. So, ito time po na nalilate po ang link siya at excited. So, with that, we are requesting the representatives, lalo na po yung halagay ng CRC, sa mga bago po, pwede po magdala kayo ng group, ID, na talaga may-ari ng inyong mga firm. Those who are owners, authorized managers po ng inyong company. So, magdala lang po ng identification, lalo mo ng marami po activity. So, kailangan talaga ma-identify yung bawat isa. So, reminders also yung mga requirements po sa preparation ng ating capital. Ito speaking ng ano po, talagang in-order doon sa checklist natin. So, maaari na po, dalagin nyo rin yung official receipt of
Ma'am Jenny, this time I will request Ma'am Annie for some clarification or compliance that you will do during the procurement.
Good morning to everyone. Of your plea documents during the plea on March 7, respective leaders on those projects posted sa ating field gems that just make sure po mag-complete yung ating mga documents to be submitted because upon initial evaluation po, once may makita po kami na deficiency o present po yan siya, may po tayo tinatawag na yung mga deficiencies or concepts. It would be a ground for outright disqualification. So, if ever naman po na during evening, consider po yung technical working group ang evaluation of your document. And then, declare po or na-declare ng chairman or the vice chairman that your outright rejection considered as outright disqualification or disqualified due to some deficiencies, hopefully representative to raise if ever naman po na solution to supposed to be hindi disqualified yung inyong representative kayo na present at that time para makapag-raise ng motion for reconsideration if it fits you na meron po kayong sufficient proof. So, if wala naman po, and then if you're given the notice that you are outright disqualified, you are given naman po 3 days to from the opening page to submit in writing that you are requesting for a motion for reconsideration. Your submission on official bid documents na so, na-discuss din po kanina regarding doon sa permits and fees, yung soil exploration, but on the other hand, meron pang iba na hindi yung sa bridge lang included. So, if ganun po ang mangyari, and our part as sa finance section naman, yung billing, if ever kayo na po inanayo sa ating bidding as lowest level, we will require those documents. Ikasali po siya sa pay item. So, yung mga official result ng soil exploration, hindi siya pero included. Pero I mean, you are expected to submit the result as part of the compliance with po sa ating project kasi requirement naman po in prior sa implementation. So there will be arrangements and what I mean is yung mga dates po ninyo titignan nyo siya prior sa payment ng ating billing whatever na-push through mo na.
So much, Ma'am Ami. Gusto ko lang ipaalam din mo, it sounds ironic sometimes because representative ni contractors hindi nag-scale during the conduct of bidding. And sometimes it so happen they would request promotion or reconsideration, knowing the fact that when it is granted and when it will be considered for the eligibility, like one example. So, dahil walang representative motion, after having motion, nakuha sila, we consider for the evaluation of bids. And we found out that it just delays because hindi nila nakita na in the event meron na palang bid na mas mababa sa kanila. So kung minsan, it entails a delay. But nevertheless, it's your right na mag-request for motion. But sometimes, it is very practical to know the details. And you might ask yourself, if ever nag-run si motion sa akin, and you know for a fact na yung bid nyo is talagang masyadong mataas, na meron ng lowest calculator bid. So, off the record, I'm sorry to say this, parang hindi na practical na mag-move for reconsideration. Kasi ang naisip ko, nag-move kayo for reconsideration, it was granted by the central office, in-open, along the way, mas mataas pa rin yung bid nyo sa mga bidder with lowest calculated bid. So, I think, tama yung present parati yung representative up to the end of the procurement activity or the bidding on the bidding day. And one thing more din, pag ma-found out back body na may mga discrepancy, dapat there should be a manifestation na mag-raise ng hand, magsabi na, Ma'am, I want to request for reconsideration due to this. But what you gotta do is to wait for the notice of non-compliance as to the technical document. Pag na-receive nyo po yan sa technical nyo, you have 3 calendar days to answer. And then si back body shall have 7 days to reply. After that, wala na po pangalawa. Kasi ang pangalawa, protest na yun. So, ang protest, may corresponding 1% non-refundable protest fee. So, walang pangalawa. And, ang panta rin, ang isa pa na concern din, pag may mga tayo, no, may mga reklamo na para in writing. Parating document in writing talaga. Para si Bob makasagot sa inyo in writing. No improvement. Pag sinabing no improvement, capture ko yung statement ni Ma'am Jenny, wala kayong idadagdag na document. That would, na magkuhan sa inyo dito, mag-suffice doon sa inyong query. So, dapat, it should be plain verification or query. So, pwede ipakita din kung present kayo na ganito mga naka-attach. So, kami mismo sa bank, we would consider that by having a meeting. Pero hindi na consider right away na. I-consider na upuan namin kung anong kung ba, authentic ba, may bearing ba, ang query. Hindi lahat ng query ay subject for one. Most of the time, subject for amendment. Unless you have a good proof to suffice to your query. And this time, I would like to give the floor to the prospective leaders to ask, give comments or magtanong clarification relative of the 30 contracts subject for bidding this March 7. Tapos, Ma'am, I would like to reiterate that the bid bulletin or supplemental bulletin should be done 7 prior to the actual bidding. So, dapat on or before end of February, para ma-post na natin. Para on March 7, wala problema. Kasi we have a period of 7 days prior to the actual bidding. So this time, anyone for the record na magtanong, you are very much welcome for your queries. So, pakipas on namin. ng microphone. Sa mas mahirap kayong tanong niyo, itatanong niyo during the pre-construction conference. It's supposed to be, magkakapunod tayong tanong. And ladies and their gentlemen.
Ano pa rin po ba? Kailangan, alam mo lang po ba? Tapos po rin pa rin.
So, ganun pa rin po, sir. I would like, please, state your name and what firm are you from?
Sige ba? One sa asot po. Yan yung sa akin.
So, it's July, masakalitan. Mas on details. Any question from the gentleman out there, sir?
Site visit ka na siya.
Actually, it is no longer a requirement to have a site visit, but it is your issue to know the location of that particular project. Walang certification, but it's your right or privilege to have a site visit somewhere. Sir, please state your name, please.
Hindi sa amin yung perform group.
Although,
Hindi yung district visit.
so it's Sir Willie Sarmiento from Bulldog Engineering. Thank you for that courtesy. From the ladies out there, marami tayong ladies, anyone comment before I close this pre-construction conference, pre-conference, I mean. Was, yes. Please state your name so that you will be recognized. You can use the phone there.
Everyone, the UP Skip Construction. New leader po ma'am. First question po is regarding sa documents na isasubmit. Original copy 1, copy 2. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. original and just copy one.
Original, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just two copies, ma'am. Original and copy one. Okay. Another question, ma'am, is where to address the saan po yung address? To the, tama po ba, ma'am? To the back chairperson?
Yes.
I
Can I answer one by one, sir? Yes. Kasi pag madiretso, baka mawala. Second question, whom you will address your document? It should be addressed to the back chairman of South Cotabato, second DEO. Tapos, may nakalagay doon na original copy and copy one. Si Ma'am Jenny magdagdag ng some information relative to that.
Sir, kung ano po yung, answerin mo muna yung if you opt to bid for one project, dalawa pong technical, one is original, and one is copy one. Dalawa din pong copy for the financial, isa original, at isa some details na kailangan ko clarify ko, I think you have or bigyan naman kayo ng procurement survey and procurement unit. Record po doon kasi instruction na bibigay ko sa
Thank you, Ma'am Jenny. So, wala na po. Pag may gustong mag-awon ng query, kindly raise your hand before I close this video conference. Out of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, hindi na tayo mag-parliamentary na. With due respect sa atong na back chairman, I now declare this privy conference adjourned at 10:30. Thank you so much for coming. So, pag may mga queries relative sa plano, you may go to the right section, the line on the right section. Thank you so much.